2014 saw a spike in activity for virtual and augmented reality. While Facebook acquired Oculus at $2 billion, Google invested $542 million in Magic Leap. Names like HoloLens might sound unfamiliar, but the giants that back them, in HoloLens' case Microsoft, certainly show how much mega-cap tech companies care.
So what are virtual and augmented reality and how do they work? Well, virtual reality is the stuff of every video gamer's dreams. It immerses people in a simulation typically by means of a headset. It uses a technique called stereoscopic 3D that produces the illusion of depth by showing each eye a separate image of the same object from different angles.
Augmented reality, on the other hand, overlays digital elements onto the physical world. Instead of showing the viewer an entirely synthetic environment, it projects light directly onto your retina such that digital displays are layered onto what eyes would normally see without digital interference. Not just the lore of science fiction, virtual and augmented technologies have been around for a good period of time.
The idea is a novel. In 1990, Boeing assembly workers will see through head displays that superimpose computerized images of where to place wires on the 777 aircraft to save them from looking back and forth on instructional manuals.
Today, virtual reality and augmented reality technologies are much more sophisticated and affordable. Most virtual reality headsets come in at around $200, but Google's Google Cardboard offering will only set you back just under $30. If you want something that's not cardboard, Arcos has a headset that comes in at around the same price that's compatible with any smartphone with a screen 6 inches or smaller.
Apart from uses in gaming and medical training, virtual reality and augmented reality are seeing increased applications in the consumer decision-making process, collecting and reacting to consumer insights and market testing. Consumers might soon have the option to buy products in any setting, with constant access to how different substitutes stack up in terms of price and performance to mitigate financial risk and promote place convenience.
As tracking and tagging technologies develop and information is shared between wish lists on mobile phones and browsing histories, when this data is collected from virtual reality and augmented reality, marketers will gain a better understanding of consumer spending habits to better cross-sell and create targeted promotions. As for augmented reality, its technology is still in a developmental stage and will need a few more years to catch up with virtual reality scalability.
The travel industry is a leader in VR integration. VR lets consumers sample the vacation in a way brochures cannot. Last summer, Marriott rolled out a Travel Brilliantly campaign, where they built large booth-stopped teleporters that transported viewers to London and Hawaii.
In 2014, Thomas Cook travel agents brought Samsung-powered headsets, digital screens, and smell generators into their store in the Blue Water shopping mall. 1 in 10 customers who tried the headsets went on to book holidays immediately after.
Virtual reality is critical to reducing perceived risk when time and effort may make it undesirable to sample the product. The test drive is a crucial selling tool in car shopping, for example, but getting people to a showroom and providing every customer a chance to drive each vehicle they fancy can be tough. For the Lexus NXS launch, the company has used VR to let shoppers configure a car virtually and take them on a personalized test drive at their own convenience.
Virtual reality offers brands the opportunity to share experiences and lifestyles that tie in strongly with brand identity. Red Bull, for example, is letting people feel what it's like to fly in a stunt plane, while Dior is making a Dior-branded VR viewer to provide customers with backstage access to runway shows, harnessing strong consumer interest and building loyalty.
When it comes to retail design, investing in a new physical space is a huge undertaking. Conventional market research methods like surveys and panels only offer limited insight into how customers feel about different layouts, color schemes, or product displays, while a virtual reality can give a much more holistic, accurate, and compelling experience. Tesco, for example, created a virtual store to understand where people were looking and how they interacted with the physical space and make smarter shelving and merchandising behavior.
Though augmented reality technology is less mature, it arguably offers superior integration with existing channels and more measurable feedback. Most emerging augmented reality tech relies on behaviors like taking a photo that users are intuitively familiar with. A consumer could simply tap buy after seeing what a new watch would look like in some brand's in-app camera. No additional headgear is required.
While VR systems immerse and isolate users, augmented reality bridges all forms of media marketers already use. Print advertisements or TV TV commercials can become links for consumers to access related digital content. Billboards could be customizable based on the consumer data collected on desktop browsers. Augmented reality could quickly and simply become a part of campaigns that already exist across channels.
In-app camera clicks, image searches, the user's gender, location, time of engagements are innately quantifiable and accessible, giving feedback on all their online and offline marketing channels. When users interact through augmented reality applications, the effectiveness of print media or ads on a bus that were once difficult to track are suddenly available.
Virtual and augmented reality systems have a lot to offer but still need to overcome a few barriers before making it mainstream. The stereoscopic 3D projection technique used in virtual reality, for example, tends to make viewers dizzy, while AR is still exploring designs that are both lightweight and wearable and have the capacity to store enough energy to power its projections.
Heavy investment in virtual reality by companies is also unlikely. The virtual reality experience is useless unless it is of extremely high quality, which is hard to come by at the current stage in technology. Augmented reality, on the other hand, has yet to enter a stage where it can be applied commercially at reasonable cost.
For customers, it's a pretty big leap from being engaged in simulated environment to making a purchase decision based on that experience. Volvo's VR campaign attracted many participants, yet had limited impact on sales compared to its other advertising campaigns. In the immediate future, it's unlikely that these simulated technologies can be fully integrated and normalized into quotidian consumer life.
When it comes to both augmented and virtual reality, their major advantages lie in the sheer amount of visual data they would let companies collect and access. This raises potential 1984 Big Brother-esque ethical concerns surrounding the blurred lines between public and private life, ownership of content, and when and where data collection and advertising placements would be appropriate.
Nevertheless, virtual and augmented reality have the potential to revolutionize how people interact, where they shop, how they buy, and marketers' understanding and treatment of their needs. Definitely something worth keeping an eye on.